Welcome to Community Conversations. As the Think First program coordinator, I'm here with one of our VIPs in the program, our Voice of Injury Prevention, Meagan, and we're going to be sharing our story about what Think First is and how it impacts the youth and adolescents that we go out and serve. Think First is a national program. Gaylord Hospital hosts the only chapter in Connecticut, and the program is a national traumatic brain injury and spinal cord injury awareness and prevention program that we go out and share our education with adolescents and youth and how they can prevent from getting a traumatic brain injury and spinal cord injury from thinking first in the choices that they make. Meagan, can you first share with us your experience and your story about what brought you to Gaylord initially?
Of course. I'm a community case manager for mental health, have been for a long time. It was just the beginning of COVID, and so everyone was isolated. I fell asleep in my car, and someone took my car and me on a drive and had an accident. We hit a tree, and unfortunately, because I wasn't buckled in, because I suffered a hematoma to the brain, which is basically a brain bleed that could turn serious, right? It causes traumatic brain injury. I was in a coma for almost 5 days. I did flatline several times and have to be resuscitated, and I had a spinal cord injury. So I broke my spine from my T3 to my T9, which caused an emergency fusion needed from my T4 to my T8 to decompress the T6. So basically what that means is one of my vertebrae kind of shattered and went through my spinal cord, which almost caused a complete injury, which would be like the spinal cord completely severed. However, I'm an incomplete, but as my doctor would say, hanging on by threads. And unfortunately, due to the coma and things like that, they thought I would wake up not able to remember, not able to really recognize people in my surroundings, and I would be paralyzed from the waist down. The chances of recovery would have been 20%, which is like the mobility and just being able to like move my limbs but not really use them. Some sensation, not enough to really enjoy life and activities, and still be very dependent since my mobility is so limited to walk, like, and that even to stand and pivot, right? 20% in a year. And to walk, they said it was like 1%, never going to happen again. I'd be paralyzed and paraplegic from the waist down. So that was my April, end of April day, and the beginning of my journey with my spinal cord injury.
So can you share what your recovery was like at Gaylord Hospital?
I am a coach for a very long time and an athlete, so I went into like recovery mode immediately. I knew Gaylord was a great place to go. They did great things for my family members. They've done great things for my clients. There was like no other place I wanted to be. So we went to Gaylord. They have a team of phenomenal OT and PT people there. Honestly, you guys are very creative and take initiative, client-centered, which are all the things that I look for as a case manager, so I loved it there. And we were able to just really grow a treatment plan that was focused on like what my goals were and not necessarily what was medically possible, because it wasn't much. I went there with the dream and aspiration to walk again, which I did.
Did you leave there walking?
I left 10.5 months later walking out of there as an Asia E, which is 5 out of 5 sensation, strength, and mobility returning, which is 1 in a percent. Like they say that there's like 1 in a million magic, and then there's 1 in a lifetime. And Dr. Rosenblum will often tell you like it's magic you're looking at, like it's 1 in a lifetime.
With your help, we're able to go to more schools, educate all the youth and adolescents about traumatic brain injury and spinal cord injury awareness and prevention. The program is free to all schools in Connecticut, so teachers are able to reach out to us to have us come into the schools to do our Think First program presentations here in Connecticut.